Bryce, what do you think happened in those early minutes of the second half?
I'd have to go back look at the film. I think we had a turnover somewhere in there, and two of the times we gambled in the backcourt, which is something obviously we don't want to do. So it led out to transition. I thought our half-court defense was pretty good, but those transition baskets, I think all 7 were in transition. Really gave them some momentum, and took away the pace from us. I thought we were controlled the pace of the game, and that kind of had a little shift to start the second half.
Bryce, you start the game 4 for 5 from 3, and then you end up starting with the first 5 misses in the second half. To what do you attribute the kind of streaky nature of the way this team has played offense at times?
As a coach, your goal is you want to get them good open shots for your best shooters. And today, Simi, I thought, did a great job finding guys. And Aaron, Matt, Joe, they had really, really good looks. And so, we're probably not going to win games until they can at least get up in the mid-30s percentile. We shoot 14% on wide open looks. It's going to be hard to beat anybody.
Coach, out rebounded 38-21. What did they do so well in terms of their physicality of their front court?
Coming into the game, that was one of our obviously top things was rebounding. We knew it was going to be a concern. First half, I thought we did really well. Again, that margin was a lot tighter. And in second half, obviously, got away with the 12 offensive rebounds. They have a lot of big bodies. We're not as deep. And so, when you got big bodies hitting you for 20 minutes, eventually, the last 10 minutes, if you're rotating a lot of big bodies, it wears on you. And so, I thought some of their big bodies, just constant contact, wore on us. But it was good for our young guys. It was good for them to experience this, and it'll help us as we face bigger guys the rest of the year.
Coach, 50% from the free throw line tonight seems to have been a little challenging at times so far. How do you guys prepare moving forward into the rest of SEC play and free throws?
That's another concern, and you can believe me when I say we've addressed it in practice, and we've substituted a lot of practice time ongoing for the last 6 weeks actually, because we lost a game early in the year in free throws. And as a coach, you just continue to practice it, try to practice it different ways. And again, that's another line that it's been an Achilles heel for us. It's cost us some games, and we got to shoot better from the line.
Bryce, in terms of your attitude and approach to the way you coach this team right now, I mean, when you start 0-3, is it are you trying to stay the course and say, that we're doing the right things, just needs to start falling, or do you kind of try and change direction a little bit, try and shake things up, maybe try and just spark it that way?
To the outside world, you go 0-3, and obviously as a coach, you're miserable, when you're 0-3. But on the inside, we've had probably 5 of the best days that we've had all year with our guys as far as togetherness and transparency and taking steps forward. We're the 305th youngest team in the country, and we're going to take some steps back before we take steps forward. These last 5 days, we've made a lot of progress. I wish the schedule was a little different. Some of the games we got early, I wish they were later in the year. Certain ones were at home, but we're going to get better, and we'll continue to get better.
Bryce, you mentioned on Thursday that the last 8 minutes of games is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the final stretch tonight?
Yeah, during the stretch we had, I think, 2 turnovers and then a bad shot by our perimeter players. So those are 3 key plays that pretty much we were right there, still 5-point game, 7-point game. We had some looks, and then those couple turnovers and a bad decision at the rim, led out to quick points on the other end, and that pretty much gave them the separation. So, when you get to that point, maturity, identity, keeping the same ball movement that we had in the first half are going to be key for us.
Coach, there was a couple instances, a couple 34-minute stretches where Kentucky didn't score, and you guys had kind of opportunities to ease your way back in. Would you attribute not being able to come back to being a young team?
Missing shots. Young or old, you go 7 for 25, and your best 3 shooters go 3 for 18. Last game they were playing 2 for 18. We're not going to win games, so we got to get our 3 best guys making shots.
Would you rather this loss to sting and hurt inside the locker room, or would you rather your team have a short memory?
No, I want to sting. Whenever you lose, it's got to hurt. And so, we've really prepared hard, and we're going to continue to prepare really hard. And when you put that much in it, it's got to hurt. And so, we're going to learn from this game. We're young, and so we're going to go back and go over this game. We're going to learn from it before we move on to our next one.
It's going to take time to offensively find a hole for Darius's loss.
When do you think you'll find that? I mean, is there a timetable? Are you close?
Yeah, this team was built for Darius Garland. Our whole style and all of last off season, all of summer, all of fall, all of start of season. We're 4-0, and now we've had to shift, and everyone's role in the team has had to shift in a different way, and so we're still finding it. The great thing is that tonight we took a huge step up, and hopefully this team will continue to take steps, moving forward.
Drew, to follow up on that, when you lose a guy that you built everything around, who do you, did you talk to somebody, another coach who's gone through something like that? Is that in the textbook, the 101 coaching textbook?
Well, I have a lot of coaching friends and that are coaching now or did coach, and pretty much, a lot of them give the consistent answer. It takes a little while. They feel really bad for me, that they lose. But then obviously you move on, you talk about other things. But I'm really proud of our young guys. Saban, I thought he's getting better each game at the point. Max, again, hasn't played the point in 2 years. He's starting to get better at it. And so, I like these guys at the end of the year. I think we'll see different play, from them even as the year progresses.
All right, everybody.